What if the reason you feel mentally exhausted isn't because something is wrong with you, but because your mind works differently from most people? You don't just think, you replay conversations, notice things others miss, and feel the weight of situations long after they've passed. And the strange part is, from the outside, it looks like intelligence. But from the inside, it feels like you can't turn your brain off. So, what if the very thing that makes you sharp is also what quietly drains you every single day? If that feels familiar, let's take a closer look at 5 struggles that often come with a highly intelligent mind. Struggle 1. You overthink everything. It doesn't feel like overthinking at first. It feels like being careful, aware, responsible. You replay conversations not because you want to, but because something about them doesn't sit right. A tone, a pause, a word choice. Have you ever wondered why your mind keeps going even when everything is already over? While others move on, you're still there, trying to understand something small. What I've noticed is the deeper you think, the harder it becomes to feel certain, because every answer opens another possibility, another angle, another doubt. It's not that you think too much, your mind just doesn't know when to stop. So instead of clarity, you're left with noise, a loop that quietly keeps running. Struggle 2. You feel different from everyone. It's not something obvious. Most of the time, everything looks normal on the surface. You can talk, laugh, respond like everyone else. But underneath, something feels slightly off. Can you imagine being in a room full of people and still feeling like you're processing everything alone? You notice things others don't seem to care about. You think about things that don't come up in conversation. It's less about not fitting in and more about experiencing everything at a different depth. And that difference is subtle, but over time it creates a quiet distance that's hard to put into words. Struggle 3. You can't connect deeply with people. Conversations don't feel difficult, they just feel incomplete. You can talk, respond, even keep things going, but something about it feels surface level. Have you ever thought of why some conversations fade quickly, even when nothing went wrong? It's not that people aren't interesting, it's that most interactions never go deep enough to hold your attention. You find yourself listening but not fully engaged, waiting for something more real, more honest. It's not a lack of social skill, it's a mismatch in depth. And after a while, you stop feeling disconnected from people and start feeling disconnected within the conversation itself. Struggle 4. Your mind never truly rests. Even in quiet moments, your mind isn't quiet. There's always something running in the background. A thought, a pattern, a possibility. Did you know your brain can stay active even when there's nothing left to solve? You might be sitting still doing nothing, but internally, something keeps processing, connecting ideas, revisiting details, anticipating outcomes. It doesn't switch off, it just shifts focus. Rest doesn't come easily when your mind is used to constant movement, and over time, that quiet activity builds up. Not as stress you can point to, but as a kind of mental weight you carry without noticing. Struggle 5. You feel things more deeply than you show. Not everything you feel is visible. On the outside, you seem calm, composed, but internally, things run deeper than people realize. Ever wished you could just feel something and let it go, instead of carrying it longer than necessary? You pick up on subtle emotions, shifts in tone, unspoken tension. And once you notice them, they don't just pass through you, they stay. Understanding people deeply often means feeling more than you were meant to carry. And over time, that builds quietly, not as something overwhelming, but as a weight that's always there, just beneath the surface. So maybe intelligence doesn't always feel the way people expect. It's not always clarity, not always control. Sometimes it's depth that doesn't switch off. Can you guess why some minds feel heavier even when nothing seems wrong on the surface? It's not because something is broken, it's because something is processing more than most people realize. If any of this felt familiar, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss what comes next.